feel a sticky vase, so I want to show you guys how my class setups look for multiplayer and Warzone. So first up, my kill streaks in multiplayer are the personal radar, the VTOL, and the advanced UAV. I mostly like to see what's going on around me for real cheap, so that's why I use the personal radar instead of the what do you call it, UAV. And yeah, you can definitely swap it out. It's just easier for yourself to get a personal radar and for your friends if they want to do Damascus or whatever to shoot out the personal radar. And then my field upgrades are obviously dead silence and trophy system. Trophy system is mostly when you're playing respawn things like domination and hardpoint, so that you can stay in the hill. And then dead silence works perfectly for S&D. Now my first sub is a MP5 with a combat knife and EOD ghost and tune-up. EOD helps you take reduced damage from non-kill streak, explosives and fire. And then ghost is just so that they can't see on the minimap mostly. Tune-up is an absolute must if you don't run a second gun, because yeah, you always want your field upgrades as close as possible. And my attachments on my MP5 are the monolithic integral suppressor, F-tac collapsible, stipple grip tape, 10mm 30 round mags, and Merc foregrip. Okay. But yeah, that's my MP5 class setup. I run a frag and a smoke as well. And then my first AR is obviously the M4, always will be. My stock M16 Grenadier, Cronin LP 945, Mini Reflex, No Stock, Commando, and Stipple Grip. This is absolute goated class. You can swap out the optic and maybe put on sleight of hand to help you, or the compensator. I wouldn't recommend the monolithic suppressor because the damage range on this gun is absolutely fine. You can just use the compensator. So yeah, putting that back on. Then second subclass, I've been getting used to the Uzi lately. It's a bit difficult to unlock, not difficult, but you have to unlock this 32 round mags for it to be any good at all. So yeah, and then the no stock and the stipple grip, absolute must. Also the FSS Carbine Pro, and then the monolithic suppressor on it. Okay. I also run EOD hardline and amped on it with my specialist. This is my specialist class. I've got high alert first, scavenger second, and then cold blooded thirdly. Okay. I run Semtex and Stim. Stim is I use mostly just for rushing through the enemy defense on S&D. I'll do another video later on how to rush. So yeah. And then my sniping class, obviously the AX50. I use a guard 1 secondary just because if I miss my shot, I can still whip out a pistol and get those shots out. I run the monolithic suppressor. It's not very popular, but I like it, especially because I snipe mostly on S&D. I don't like them to know where I am. The 17-inch factory barrel, the tac laser, Guard arms evader, and stipple grip. That is my setup for the AX50, and the monolithic suppressor also helps with that damage range a bit. So yeah, don't run a skinwort or anything on it. So yeah, then I use EOD, ghost, and amped. Just because I use amped in this class because I don't want to take long to switch to my pistol when I'm in a gunfight. I want to do it as quick as possible, so I can get my kill. And then my fifth class is the M4. I also use this for S&D. This one I'm trying to run now without the without the sight, because it's an extra what do you call it, attachment that you have to your disposal if you take off the sight, and you can get used to it. So this is very basic, like my previous setup: the stock M16, the compensator, the no stock, the commander foregrip, and stipple grip tape. Then I use the M19. This gun is absolutely goated, so underrated. Most of the pros are using it in CDL, but I've not seen a lot of people using it in pubs at all, and it's really sad because this gun two shots a lot of times. But I don't use 5 attachments on it just so that it stays light. You can pop a monolithic or something like that on it if you want to. Not necessary at all. So yeah. Then I run EOD, Ghost, and Tune Up again, a frag and a stun. My Warzone class at the moment, it's a bit odd, but I'm still using the M4. Monolithic Suppressor, Corvus Custom Marksman, Forge Stack CQS, 6 round mags, Commander foregrip. This gun absolutely beams because of that stock. If you take off the stock, the recoil increases a reasonable bit. But this Forge Stack stock keeps it steady. And then I run the Bison. The only reason I run the Bison is because it's always floor loot, and I've picked it up a lot of times and it saved me because of that 84 round or 64 round mags, and it's really been helping me out in certain gunfights because I can continue pressing them without having to worry about my ammo or reloading, because I've died too many times reloading. And yeah, so my setup is the monolithic suppressor, 8.7-inch steel, close quarters stock, fully loaded, because a lot of games I drop in back from the gulag late game, and this is just an extra perk which I can share the ammo maybe with my friends if they don't have any ammo left for SMGs. And then I have the 84 round helical mags. So yeah. And then I run double time, overkill, and amped. Mostly your first class you want to pick up an overkill class so that you have both your guns. Double time is to move quicker across the map. You can swap it out for EOD if your slide cancelling is on point. And then amped, I use just to swap quicker between my two weapons when I'm going into buildings and those stuff, because you don't need tune-up. You can use battle hardened as well. I've seen people use tracker. I've never used tracker in Warzone. But yeah, I'm using amped. And then a C4 and a heartbeat sensor. C4 is absolutely goated in Warzone. Don't run a C4, you should run a C4. So yeah. My second S&D class is mostly a CDL setup. This is a compensator, a F-tack collapsible, operator foregrip, stipple grip, and sleight of hand. It's a lot different to my previous class. This one is more of a beamer. Its recoil pattern is more controllable than the other class. The time to kill is going to be a bit bigger or longer, but it absolutely beams people, and this is the CDL setup that most pros are running at the moment. Scumpy is running it. I think Envoy ran it as well, now that he can't use the Uzi anymore. So yeah, this is what they run. You can swap out the operator for the commando as well, but at the moment the operator is what most of the people are using. Yeah, then I have a knife as a secondary, EOD, ghost, and tune-up, a frag grenade, and a smoke grenade. Then my second AR class is the Galil or the C56 AMAX. I run it mostly as a S&D, no, sorry, not a S&D, SMG version of a AR. Monolithic suppressor, 8.3-inch intruder, Merc foregrip, 45 round mags, and stipple wrap. Merc foregrip, the reason why I use Merc foregrip and not commando in this class is because it increases your mobility actually. So yeah, I just think that the Merc foregrip looks number one the best and feels the best on this class. If you don't use a underbarrel on this class, you'll get a lot of recoil, so just remember to put one on. Whether it's the Commando or the Merc, it doesn't really matter, you just need one on. And then secondary, a knife, EOD, ghost, and tune up. The reason why I use a knife on most of my classes is just for mobility purposes, so that I can get around the map quicker when I'm rushing through S&D, because S&D is mostly what I play. So I want to get the furthest up the map without having to worry about my gun getting me behind the people. Okay, that's weird to explain, sorry, my English isn't that good. And then my third sub, I just love the Vector in Ghosts and the previous games. So this is my Vector setup. I've used this in Warzone, this precise setup. It actually works. It's just irritating to reload the whole time, because this gun's fire rate is absolutely insane. I use a ZLR Deadfall, the Cronin mini reflexes. I don't like the iron sights, never have. Merc foregrip, 40 round drum mags, and sleight of hand. That's a goated class. Then I also use the Prisoner 65 knife, double time, ghost, and tune up, and then a frag grenade and a smoke. And this is my Warzone ghost class. This is the second class I run for Warzone. I only ran 2 classes. This class is mostly for what do you call it? When you pick up your second loadout drop or something. But if you want to use this FAL maybe in multiplayer, I could recommend it. It's the 18-inch ultralight, solo optics mini reflex, no stock, stipple wrap or grip, and then the Commando foregrip. The reason why I'm using the FAL sometimes in multiplayer is absolutely goated at the moment after the recent patch. They buffed this thing a lot. It does over 100 potential damage close range. So that's a one-shot kill in multiplayer. If you haven't tried out the FAL and you have a trigger finger, go for it, dude. But yeah, this is my second class, exactly the same as my other Warzone class. And I use double time, ghost, and amped on it, and then C4 and heartbeat sensor. I've seen people put like fully loaded on their Warzone ghost class just to get that ammo back. And it actually works for me. I have done it a few times. So yeah, this is my class setups. I'm going to show you my CDL setups quickly. I know someone will want to see it. Only have 3 setups. As I said earlier, this is the go-to class in CDL for SMGs. The compensator, the FTAC collapsible, operator foregrip, stipple grip tape, and sleight of hand. And the reason why your public guns are always different to your CDL guns are because there's a lot of GAs and rules that if you don't know what a GA is, it's a gentleman's agreement between all the teams, that they shouldn't use this attachment or that attachment, basically just to keep things fair, because things like the Merc foregrip allow your mobility to be absolutely insane. Another thing is suppressors. They don't want to not show up on the minimap. They want you there. And yeah, I just think the GAs are getting a bit too much for me, but there's nothing you can do about it at the end of the day. Then, sorry, I run my secondary is obviously the M19. This is a Azure Hammer variant. And then I still use the A916 lightweight trigger, stipple grip tape, and then sleight of hand. My perks are EOD, pointman, and tune-up. And then I have a specialist of double time, battle hardened, and cold blooded. The only reason I run specialist is because in CDL you don't get streaks, you can only get specialists. So my second class setup, my AR class, when I have to play those longer ranges, is the M4 with the Corvus Custom Marksman, the Compensator, No Stock, Triple Grip Tape, and Commander Foregrip. The reason I use the Compensator is just because of preference. You can use the muzzle brake as well, but most of the pros are using the Compensator. So yeah. Then also I use the M19 here. Same attachments, A916 lightweight trigger, stipple grip, and sleight of hand. Then EOD, ghost, and tune-up are my options. The reason why I run EOD is because in CDL people nade your, not your spawns, your when they rush through on S&Ds, they nade over the mid and everything, and if you get struck by it, you don't want to die first off and put your team on the back foot. So this just helps with that. And then ghost and tune up, just so you can get your field upgrades faster, and ghost to stay undetected while they're playing, not while they're playing, if they give callouts or something, or yeah. Ghost is just an obvious perk for me always. Semtex and stun grenade. You can maybe use pointman. I'm gonna change mine to pointman. Because now that I think about it, you can't use UAVs in in CDL. So let's change that pointman. And then Semtex and stun grenade are my two lethals and tacticals. And then thirdly, I've tried to run the Uzi. Recently this 32 round mag has been banned, so you can't use it anymore, and obviously you can't use suppressors, but I still use the FSS Carbine Pro, the Commander Foregrip, the 32 round mags and stipple grip tape, and no stock. Then I ran the M19, same attachments as always. Lightweight, stipple grip, and sleight of hand. Then I run double time, pointman, and tune up, just because this is mostly a respawn game mode based class setup. Then it's double time, pointman, and tune up. Then I run frag grenade and stun grenade, and that's my class setups for everything basically. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe I'm going to do another video on some rushes and stuff for you guys. So yeah, check you guys later. Thank you for watching and have a good day.